They love detailed information. They complete the all about you form before they come and meet me in my office, and have a lot of wealthy friends.
Man, that's awesome. Jim, who's your ideal client?
Mine would be someone that is actively engaged in learning about the process and taking that information and executing on it.
Nice. Natalie?
Good.
Buyer that appreciates the knowledge and education I give, listens and shares their fears so I can best help and advise them for an amazing experience, and then shares my contacts with all.
Awesome. Dustin?
Yeah, they come with a challenge, just enough so that I can show everyone involved, including maybe the listing agent who might be not a referral partner I already work with, but show everybody I don't mess around, I get it done. And essentially the short version is they create referral opportunities for me.
Cool. Like it. Did I miss anybody? Michael, you said here's mine. My ideal client is someone who initially is seeking advice on how to buy a home, the best way for their specific situation. An initial consultation sounds very appealing to them. They're immediately willing to meet and see the value of the meeting once held. I could go on, but
It's good.
You guys said coachable, but the reality is like ideal clients, ultimately for all of us, I kept hearing this: be an advocate, be a consultant, be a resource, be a guide, if you will. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, that a lot of people did mention that. So how do you get people from, we want them to do that. So what are the tactics and what do you do to get people to do that? Do we say or do anything proactively to get our clients to be advocates or to refer? I think that's important to talk about, because I think I'm guilty of it as well, is not reinforcing the fact of how we generate business, how we attract clients. And I think we miss opportunities. I know I do, and I have, by not sharing how we generate business. Like, I would love, for you to share the word on how I helped you with your friends and your family. I would love to help them. 100% of my business is referrals. And honestly, and I sometimes will say this, it's like the replace you clients. Like, we're going to work together for 4 weeks. It's going to be awesome. We're going to see you at closing. It's going to be the best experience ever. But for me, it's a little bittersweet because I'm not going to be able to talk, once a year or something we'll talk, but you're going to move into the house and I need to replace you with another fantastic client. So I'm going to need your help to help fill that void of us talking every week, right? And that's a true statement. And I don't talk about it enough. And I think when people get referred to us, they don't think about, I don't think we talk enough about how we need their help to help fill our pipeline, not being selfish, but it's what we do.
Yeah, I think being specific and telling them what we're looking for is important too, right? It's one thing to be like, hey, I want a referral. Yeah, of course you do. I know, blah, blah, blah. And it can accidentally happen if, their uncle happens to talk about buying a house. But if we tell them specifically, hey, everybody needs a place to live. You've got friends, family, coworkers, keep your ears open and give them specifics.
I think, the funny thing about past client referrals and current client referrals and the concept of what Michael's talking about and Dustin, I think it's one of those things that unless you inherently are programmed to kind of ask, and I'm just going to cast a bigger, like what I've seen in 28 years and definitely all through the years of like truly coaching at the core. And every month I would see 12 clients, lead trackers, and the lead tracker had to be fully completed. And on the lead tracker was previous client referrals and current client referrals, and there were goals. And we would talk about it. And there was some guy that like, here was his whole way to get current clients to refer you. And then I remember like I coached him for a year and I was like, hey, Ian, like, dude, you got 11 current client referrals last month. They were on your lead tracker for, July. Have you done anything with them? Oh, well, we left messages. Okay, cool. Well, like, oh yeah, one of them was really good. And then the other were like, so he was like soliciting names.
Yeah.
In a manufactured way that was kind of like, hey, and Michael, the taxi ride, like that's Joe Stump 101. He said that in 1996. When you're a realtor and a lender and you give them limousine service for 30 days, when they're getting out of the limousine, you say, hey, I need you to put 2 more people in this limousine so I can do this for them. Like that's forever by referral only.
Yeah.
Here's my only poke in the eye at all of you. Your ideal client is who you really want to serve. And ultimately, you can't program someone to be a natural referrer. People either refer well or they don't. Now, what we can do a better job of is just saying, hey, Michael, thank you so much for working with me. I appreciate you and Allison, and I'm glad we made it through all this. I want to remind you that if in the future my ideal clients are people who are initially seeking advice on how to buy a home in the best way possible for their specific needs, and the Smart Start meeting sounds really appealing to them, the very one you did 90 days ago. So if you're willing, and if this isn't too much of a pain in the butt, when you hear house buying opportunity with someone in the future, would you be willing to, pass my name along or text me or connect us?
Yeah.
By the way, Grant's, out of everyone's, Grant's the ones that's ringing in my brain that was like so specific that like, Grant, if you had the nerve to like say that to people, they'd be like, God, Grant really wants a specific type of client. I'll tell you one other quick story. Just happened. There's a guy I work with who marketed to me, and when I met him, he's a realtor. He's very unique, and he told me specifically the area he markets to. He told me how many homes were in the 3 demographic areas that are all, it's a wealthy area. And he said, Brendan, my ideal business in our first meeting, I want to sell 25 $2 million houses a year and do 50 million with no assistant. I said, man, that's a pretty good business. By the way, 6 months later, it was 50 million. Now he's at 100 million. So he tells me what he wants. I have these clients that moved out to Brentwood. They called me and said, hey, can we come in for a construction loan meeting? We want to build in the next couple of years. They come in, it's an hour-long meeting. Guy owns a big company that's got 45 employees, real analytical. And I referred him the original realtor that he bought his first house with, sold it, and then went to the next house. And I literally said, hey, have you been in touch with Caroline? Not Caroline, you're thinking Benton. And he goes, well, we haven't. And I said, well, guys, everything you mentioned about where you want to be, I want to tell you about a guy I know. So I essentially teed up this guy. They're going to meet with him. Their sale is $1.8 million. They want to buy $1.5 million place that they're going to bulldoze. They'll build a $2.5 million cost. They'll be in a house for about $4 million. Clients leave, and Benton comes over to me, and Benton, what did you say?
You're talking about the Jason Gruner referral?
Yes.
I said that if Jason Gruner had written a referral for himself, that would have been the same referral. It was designed in a lab.
Yeah, put it this way. But he told me his business model and what he wanted in our first meeting. And by the way, I haven't met a lot of business-oriented realtors. He's a business-oriented realtor.
Yeah.
He worked for a builder and ran all their ad campaigns. He's a no fuss, no muss. This is what I like. This is what I want. So I think if we take anything from today's call, if we just tell realtors our ideal client, we tell financial planners our ideal clients, and we just get it out there, the sooner we program them, we frame them for what we want, maybe the more we get what we want.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's kind of funny.
Right.
Like if you have a kid that's like, Dad, I love ice cream, you might go, hey, you get one ice cream tonight? Like humans generally try to like fill the frame once the frame is established for them.
Yep.
There was once a mortgage broker when I first moved here, and I took a picture. I wish I had it. He was in Bellevue at a shitty little strip mall, and the sign out front, he was a broker, and the sign says, "We specialize in all types of loans."
Is that an oxymoron?
Well, but that's what I think we try to do too much of. Like if we're, no offense, if we're talking about reverse mortgages, we're stupid. I mean, Sam, you might get mad at me, but we don't know shit about reverse mortgages. Like we're better off just getting our reverse specialist to sell to our financial advisors and market to them versus us like, we do reverses. No, we don't. We do HELOCs. No, we don't. We suck at them. We do DSCR loans with Taylor at NewFi, who lies to us. We tell our clients this is what's going to happen. 3 days later, it changes. Oh, hey, Natalie, I know you're pissed, but here's what we're going to do. So NewFi's got this fucked up way of doing stuff, but this is the last change. 3 days later, wait, what? Does that say? No, that says 60%. Hey, Natalie, I told you it was wrong. It's even wrong again. I'm so sorry. I'm the shittiest loan officer on the planet. Let's do FHA, conventional, jumbo, normal loans, and talk about our ideal clients versus the shit that we chase. Okay.
Sam, you had a question?
Yes, Sam.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Brendan,
Question. Yes.
when do you ask for the referral, right? I've heard 72 million different theories on this, but I want to know when.
By the way, I'm a liar if I tell you I ask for referrals. I just don't. I'm terrible at it. Like current client referrals, and I get previous clients that come to me just because of what I do, but I'm not good at this. Somebody else talk.
Mr. Michael,
Hey, Sam, I set the tone as soon as the smart start's over. Like literally as soon as it's over, I'll just say, did you find this helpful? I've yet to find somebody that says no. I generally follow them and then I just kind of mess with them and be like, hey, even if you did it, would you tell me? Get a laugh out of them. And then I'll just, when they say yes, I'll just start saying like, hey, well, let me know if you have other people that are in the same situation as you, whether it's renting, thinking about buying, just kind of go ahead and get it going in their head. And then I'll just mention it throughout the process. And, kind of like Michael, I'm going to start using what Michael Anthony said about, hey, I need somebody to replace you. We've had too much fun. Like, let's find somebody to get in there. But I will literally start, like, as soon as the smart start is over and they're leaving, I'll say, did you find this helpful? And then I'll say, who do you know that would also find this helpful? Because if anything, it just kind of gets the wheels rolling.
And I think the reason why that's so important is because it's, what is it, the reticular or activator or whatever. Like when somebody is buying a home, I had a smart start last night, and this guy named Joshua, he's like, yeah, I was talking to everybody at work, I'm buying this house. They talk about what they're doing right now. They're under contract, they're getting their home inspected, they're going to get it appraised, they got the loan. This is when they hear other people talk about their situation, their home situation. They're thinking about buying. They're thinking about buying an investment property. They're thinking about selling. So it's so much, I think, great point, Rob. It's super impactful to talk about it like while they're doing it. I'm guilty. And the reason why I brought it up is I'm guilty. Like I'm weak at that. And just, I need to talk about it more. And you don't have to be cheesy about it, but just say, look, and to your point, hey, if you found this helpful, you probably, if you could introduce me to other people that would also value from this, that'd be fantastic. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and Grant, I'm going with what Mike said is great from the perspective of I need to replace you, right? Like what a sweet thing to say to them, which then also if they feel that you're doing something for them, they want to do something for you, which is help you replace them. I think that's like what I mean, how can you say no to that? That's really good. Really good.
I think part of it, you know, each time I hear this, all of this is a dance. These are pickup lines for single people. Hey, try this, try this, try that. And Rob, like, hey, you know, hopefully this was helpful. You're leading the witness. You know, if you said, hey, you closed, what did I do that made a difference for you in this process? A what question? Versus, hopefully you found me really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rob, you were great. Hey, real quick, I need to know what I did, why you chose me, and what I did that you liked.
Because they're reinforcing what was good organically.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't, when people were paying $2,500 a month at the core, and I was sitting there looking at their stuff and instructed to like tell them things, none of you have the level of commitment that those clients did. And we talked about the same shit 15 years ago. This is all anecdotal. So, hey, the reticular activator, I need to replace you. Hey, was this helpful? Send me your friends. If you don't mind, like these are all little things. Let's rise above. We help them with the loan. We're great advisors. We're consultants. In the end, our follow-up with them, and I think like the pathways call, which would be like a 5-year planning call, the check-in 90 days, hey, or 60 days or 30 days. Did you figure out how to make your mortgage payment? The, hey, I'm around you in social media. You're seeing me help someone else buy an investment property. I established something about a construction loan that I did for some clients. I'm telling stories and I'm in your head and you see that I'm useful. I think we get more referrals when we're useful and we're a resource. Like that's the way to get the client to come out of the woodwork. Outside of that, I do believe that we could all do a better job as well manufacturing the referrals during the process. So one thing I always think of, and maybe this is just a possibility, I go back to Cutco knife. Cutco knife, they're cutting that penny at your dining room table. And then at the very end, they're like, hey, Sam, this is a Cutco knife challenge. And my boss, he had said, because since it's September 7th, and this is one of the weird days, it's about, it's called referral madness. And so what I have to do, or else they'll beat me at the sales rally, I have to get 11 names of your neighbors. And I already see that Mr. Johnson, I looked on LinkedIn, he's next door. Who are your other 10 neighbors? Yeah, you're laughing, April. You got that sales pitch. That's what Cutco does. And then you're like, well, okay, my neighbor to the right's Tatum. He's kind of cheap, but he might. I mean, the guy does well. Todd across the street, he's in the music business. He does well. The old lady next to him, she's broke. Her house is in a mess. Someone needs to buy it and bulldoze it and build a new one. This guy, you know, like you start going through your head because he's going to get beaten if he doesn't. By the way, it's always about winning the sales competition. That's cheesy as shit.
Or the realtors. Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for your referrals.
But here's the thing. What if we had something that we said was like, you ready? You posted your ideal client on the top of the piece of paper, and then it said, I need your help. And then it said, hey, these are the types of people. Like my ideal client is this person, but what I would love is to connect to anybody in your network, maybe your financial planner, your insurance agent, maybe a couple of your neighbors, maybe a couple of your best friends from college, maybe 2 or 3 of your coworkers that you actually like. And then you have this little wheel that you could fill in. Outside of that, remember, this is just all gobbledygook. And we're talking about generating leads by asking people to refer us because we did a good job for them. If the restaurateur walked out after I went and ate at a new restaurant and was like, oh my God, Brandon, this is Giuseppe, the restaurant you like? And I'm like, oh yeah, it was good. You're okay. I'm from Italy. What I would like you to do is refer me to people. I'd be like, Giuseppe, dude, I'm full. It's 9 o'clock at night. But really, I need more customers.
How does an AI summary like capture that?
We'll find out.
Do you know I live in Antioch? I barely make no money, and I give away a free dinner. All right, like, I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna solicit them right there? Natalie, I got a laugh out of you. I like it. She's like, are you Italian? No.
No.
You're on mute. All right. What was the next? We were going to do my ideal realtor. What was the next thing we were going to do?
Day. Your ideal day.
Ideal day. We got enough time. What was the other one, Denton?
It's realtor, day, and client. I kind of feel like ideal day is a meaty topic to try to do in 30 minutes, but
yeah, we only
That's
got 15.
That piggybacks off the manifesto. That's a homework assignment.
Yeah. Let's go with ideal realtor. Because I think we could all call on each other. Go ahead. We got a minute. Or ideal referring source if it's not a realtor.
yeah, that's what I should have said.
Volunteers?
Well, we got to write them, Michael.
Oh, well, I've already written mine, so I'll go.
Oh, you already have. I'm playing Beethoven number 9.
This is
I
for
also
ideal
will-
realtor, right?
Or a financial advisor.
Or referral partner. Yeah.
1 minute.
A good cat is a dead cat. I like your response now to the old realtor. You're all liars if no one says an ideal realtor is one I never have to interact with.
Is it an omen that my pen ran out when I was describing my ideal realtor?
Yes.
All right. Michael, I'm going to make you go first since you were the first guy ready.
Yep. All right. So ideal realtor, she's been in the business for 4 years. We've worked together for 3 of them. She's a rising star and has great connections from her past corporate job. She refers me exclusively, and she knows the value that I bring her clients and the value of our in-depth Smart Start meeting. She's fun, lighthearted, and we enjoy having a cocktail once in a while.
God, I'm kind of romantically charged here, Michael, after that. She sounds smoking hot. Amy, your ideal realtor. Referring source.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so someone who calls and you can tell they talk about you to others in a nice manner, recognizes my value, acts as a true partner and doesn't question what we need and why we need it, doesn't hand out 3 cards, just hands out my one, and respects time and boundaries.
Ooh.
Yes.
Love
Amy.
it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Ed, your ideal realtor.
Jokingly, I'd say exists in the fictional section, but I had this thought where we're all sharing what our ideal realtor is and thinking to myself, man, if I just became a realtor, could listen to all of their answers and just become the ideal realtor for all of these mortgage originators. So how do we become a fly in the wall in the meeting of realtors that are all answering the question of what is your ideal mortgage originator partner? and what are they like? Because that's what I want to know. From the realtor's perspective, what is their ideal loan guy? How can I become that?
That's pretty cool. What if we went to a Bon Jovi show and they played Rolling Stones covers? Hey, Ed, who is your ideal referring source? I love you.
I
for
would
your
actually go
creative-
to a Bon Jovi concert.
All right. You didn't answer my question, but you brought up a great
So
suggestion.
now I'll go
that's
to
really
it then.
cool.
Somebody who has trust in me and
Okay.
is not going to waver for that. We're both going to have that cooperation to make sure that there's no doubt that creeps in during the course of the transaction.
I like it. April, your ideal realtor or referring source?
A realtor that has a team and instructs them to use me and refers clients that they have vetted that have 700 scores, sufficient assets, qualified income, and referred me as the only lender and advises the client. I'll educate them in the process, eliminating their anxieties.
Did you write this down or are you just kind of pontificating?
No, I wrote it down.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. All right. Jesse, your ideal realtor. I skipped my boy here.
It's all right. I said 8+ buy-side transactions in the last year, looking to refer their clients to the lender who provides the most value.
Got it. He said 8+ buy sides per year and looking to refer their lender who provides the most value to their clients. Ideally, it's you. Dustin, your ideal realtor.
Too busy to not trust the process, but still appreciates updates. They understand things happen, but has confidence in my ability to either handle it and or make sure I don't hurt either their reputation or mine.
Ooh, nice. Parker, your ideal realtor.
My ideal realtor is a realtor that wants to make a wealth plan to grow their wealth and portfolio while referring current and previous clients to do the same so we can all grow together.
I like it, like a business partner.
Good.
Natalie, did you already give us yours?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
Organized communication, supports, partnership, refers, tells others to use me.
Cool. I like it.
Santos.
Santos, yeah, sorry.
I wrote down a growth mindset, works within the circle of trust, understands the value of our process, exclusive referral partner, local full-time, experienced, great marketing, knows how to refer clients to me.
Nice. Who am I
Grant.
missing?
Grant.
Grant.
Mine's a little longer here. This is very specific to lots of my agents. Someone who is a leader in their network, who people look up to. They're involved in a specific network and spend their time within that network 7 days a week. Their day is spent hunting, and they are hungry and looking for people to help and to acquire trophies. They are in a serious relationship and live an active lifestyle. They want and need my advice in their business. They explain the importance of my Smart Start meeting to everybody and require that their clients talk with me, even if they're already qualified. And last and most importantly, they're in my corner of the ring.
Damn.
That's nice. Good.
That is awesome. Justin, your ideal referring partner.
Definitely elements what Grant said, but it's someone I'd add to it, someone I want to hang out with, someone who's a strong referring partner who believes in my knowledge, who wants to understand the process, and also who wants to defer to me for expertise. Someone who's outgoing, a go-getter, is going to find clients and also require them to have a conversation with me and believes in my abilities.
Same question I had for April for you. Are you pontificating or are you reading what you wrote?
Oh, I didn't write that.
You're pontificating. You're dawdling. I want you to write it and own it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you don't own it. That's why I'm just noticing tone, and I hear like yeah. All right.
Jeff,
Which, by the
Jeffrey.
way, I know you have an ideal referral partner, so the more you ink it, the more you own it. So try to write it down. Aaron, your ideal referring partner.
One who exclusively refers me on a pedestal, instructs a client to follow my system, trust me to the point where they only want to hear from me if there's a problem. And someone that sees me as an asset and that I would want to go hang out with for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm going to read mine. My ideal referring source wants a real estate partner and sees me as an asset to their business and to their clients. Here's the next one. I respect their business and want to refer them my clients as well. That's where I get in trouble. I get in trouble when I'm just chasing and I don't respect them anymore. And I'm like, and that's probably one of my faults, as I could have a lot more realtors if I just played the part, but I feel like I have to give back. And I feel like if they suck at what they do, I'm eventually just going to tell them they suck. Which, by the way,
you
guys in the office,
definitely will do that.
Yeah, and I do. I
Is
do,
that
and
a
then I end the
problem, though?
relationship. Huh?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I understand that, we want business, but don't we want to get to the point where we have the luxury to do business with whom we want and should be doing business with? And Sam's going to start nodding when I tell him I've sold my soul to the devil and I can't wait till the guy either gets hit by a truck or I don't have to do business with him anymore. But it's also my top agent right now.
Yeah, you want to, so Dustin, you want to hear something funny? So I sold my soul to the devil.
No. Has anyone ever said no to you? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is relevant to you.
All right.
When I decided in 2013 that I was going to become, someone said they want to go after big teams and they want a big team because the big team will then refer me all the agents that'll refer me the clients. Well, that's what I did. And I worked on this guy for a long time. We'll keep him nameless. So my job, Dustin, was I didn't really like him, but I was going to make sure that I referred him $250,000 a year in gross commission income. It was going to be referrals to listing agents or to listings. It was going to be buyer leads if I had them to give to his team. And then it was also going to be business people. Like I was going to force him into my B2B partnerships with financial planners and other people. It worked. He's a dick. His whole team left him. He's angry. So this
we might be
person
talking about the same guy.
Yeah. So this person who I know is a huge mortgage influencer and I'm working with her, she meets him at a wealth conference at this wealth building thing, whoever this wealth builder guy is. They meet in Vegas or somewhere. And so she knows my history with him. She's like trying to do business with him. And she hears my annoyance. And true story, yesterday she goes, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you let that shit go?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "You want to know why I want you to let it go? The last 3 fucking times I've met with this guy, your name comes up out of his mouth. You influenced him. You're still in his fucking head. You were great for his business. He just can't man up and call you and say, 'Dude, I owe a lot to your ass,' because his ego's too big." And I go, "That's all I needed. I'm done." I'm pitting, by the way. I'm done. So Dustin, own it. If this guy's a jerk, if he's a jerk, just go for the jerk and do everything you can and know that one day you'll be like, "Right here, buddy." And when you leave, there'll be a huge void in his business. Been there, done that. Who do we miss on ideal referring partners? We got 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Sam, you got yours?
I wrote it down.
Go ahead.
Experienced, busy,
because you got
smart, and interested in learning and putting their clients in the best hands.
Say it one more time.
Experienced, busy, smart, and interested in learning and putting their clients in the best hands.
Awesome. Anybody else that we missed?
Think we got everybody?
So here's what I want to tell all of you. Thank you for defining your ideal client. Thank you for defining your ideal referring source / realtor. I think if we owned these, and I will say, this goes back to like teacher's pet, Grant had the most specific for both. So if I were to sit here 6 months from now and go, hey, Michael, do you remember when we did that thing for ideal client and ideal realtor? Most likely the only one I would remember is Grant's, because all I can remember is he's like put it in a visual. I can think of like, hey, they're influencers in their community. They're 7 days a week at it. They're hunters. They're going after that shit. He's in their ring. They are already pre-selling Smart Start, even if they have pre-approved buyers. Like, by the way, I didn't write that shit down. He just said it so clear and he owned it. Which, by the way, Grant, you're on your way, dude. I just got to hold on for the ride and keep your big ass ego in check and make sure that we help you. But it's good to have a big ass ego. Here's why he has a big ass ego. He's really dialed in on what he wants. By the way, Jason Gruner, the guy I referred, that $5 million worth of real estate, he's got a big ass ego. But he's very clear on what it is he wants, the frame he's working. See that? I'm doing that and you guys are watching me. And you're like, what is he doing? I'm creating a frame. So I think if Sam, coaching to you, get a little bit more clear on what organized and determined and educated. The things you said are like Nike, just do it. Like, get real clear. Amy had a real clear one when she spoke it. So each one of you, mine's a little dreamy. I need to get a little more dialed in, and then maybe describe, like, don't be afraid to geographically go, hey, my ideal realtor is a 30 to 40-year-old, like, it sounds judgmental, but like when Jason Gruner said, here is my demographic area, there's 4,600 homes, and here it is. He pulled it up on his laptop and he said, this is who I market to. My brain was like, I'm not thinking about these other neighborhoods anymore. I'm like, that's what he wants. So I think the goal today would be, if you can get it clearer and you could write it on one big piece of paper, my ideal client and my ideal referring source, and you had the nerve to share that with people. Sam, when you're recruiting, what if you were like, hey, I want to show you something, and you handed it to a branch manager and you said, I didn't write this for you. I wrote this 6 months ago and here it is. By the way, I would be totally impressed if I was looking to move, if you handed me something and it was dated September 7th, 2023. And then I'm reading it going, hey, I'm not exactly ideal, but man, I fit a lot of these boxes.
Yep.
Just an idea.
It's
guys,
a great idea, Brendan.
Yeah, but
Good stuff.
And remember this, everybody's like, opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one, right? Ideas are like butterflies. They can come out. Here's my point. If we frame this is probably the most important thing that as a loan officer, we can emanate throughout our day. Like, if this is what's coming out of our mouth and it's on paper and it's what we live, it's essentially what we're going to draw to us. Like, if we describe what it is we want, then we're going to be drawn. That's going to be drawn to us. It's
Right.
just the power of positive thinking. It's, what was that whole movie that came out years ago that was kind of cool, that was about just essentially what you think about, you bring about? What was the movie called? The Secret?
The Secret.
Yeah. And that's just all like that metaphysical, like, if you think it and then you verbalize it and then you start acting it, guess what's going to happen? It will become real.
Yep.
And if you speak it and verbalize it and frame it, the people that aren't your ideal clients and aren't your ideal referring source will self-select out.
Right.
And one day you'll be like Clark Griswold. You'll be at the front of the thing and you're going to be like, we're going to be having so much freaking fun. We're going to be whistling Dixie from our buttholes.
Zippity doodah.
Zippity doodah.
Never heard that one before.
By the way, there's nothing better than a day. Ready? We'll end with this. There's nothing better than a day where you meet your ideal client and they're in front of you. You meet your ideal realtor partner, and then one other good thing happens personally, and you're like, pinch me. Like, I'm in a dream business. I'm meeting people that I want to meet who want to refer me, and I want to refer
Morning,
them.
Jeff.
I'm getting referrals, and people are wanting to meet with me, and they see my value, and all the things that I'm describing are actually happening.
Awesome.
When calls are this good, Michael had just sent me a text. Michael, should I put your Venmo?
What's your Venmo,
and
bro?
the donation?
$25 Venmo to Brendan.
Donation.
Michael had just texted me. Michael had just texted me and said, I think this call was worth about $3,000 today. Michael, I think you're right.
Yeah.
No, seriously, take this knowledge of what we just shared with everybody, write your own damn ideal for both, frame it, send it to Benton. Benton, send everybody a little email, and let's try to hold each other accountable to this, because I wrote mine down on my planner there, but I need to kind of get a little tighter. Grant, I would love to see yours. Benton, for Nashville, let's make us share ours on Monday, framed somewhere where we can like hold on to it and see it. Cool. And I would encourage all of you to do that yourselves. So
Awesome.
we'll
That's
meet
fantastic.
again in 2 weeks. Michael, any conversation, any thought?
No, I can't top it. That was a great call. Gold nuggets.
Well, we'll come up with something different next time on the loan officer roadmap. That's not. We'll just come up with something different.
Well, and also too, if anybody on the call has something they need help with, work on, send Benton an email of what you want to, what you need help with, and we can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, have a great weekend. Happy selling, and have a good September. Hopefully everybody's shoving in as much as they can.
Adios.
See ya.
Have a good weekend. Bye.